Hello, my lovelies. I am Barb Owl, and today my son Sammy will read My Hollow Home by Leanne Murner, illustrated by Vanessa Liebenberg.
I am a gum tree. I am not like other trees. I am quite unique. I may look full and solid on the outside, but I can be hollow on the inside. This is not the case with all eucalyptus trees. We start out as solid trees, but if we have an injury, for example, we get struck by lightning, then we become very vulnerable to white ants, or you may know them as termites. These little insects will climb up to where we have an open wound and start feeding on our inner wood. This timber is dead and easy for them to consume. They will make a nest on one of our branches or the side of our trunk and start munching away at us. This will hollow out our branches and trunk. The dead wood inside is not needed for us to be strong and to continue to grow. In fact, this can actually help us grow. The branch that fell will also be hollowed out, creating a habitat for ground wildlife, mammals, reptiles, and insects. It can be used to build a nest, hide from larger prey, or create a home. My hardwood branches are used by Aboriginals to make their musical instruments, like the didgeridoo and clapsticks, as well as digging and hunting tools, like the woomera. The didgeridoos are made from one of my branches that they cut down or found on the ground. Aboriginals can also use the bark of my tree to make shields and canoes. My leaves are used in cultural practices and burnt in smoking ceremonies. I see all that happens on the ground around me. The little echidna hangs around the bottom of my trunk, looking for food. They scratch and feed in the leaf litter and dirt around my roots. Echidnas love to eat ants, termites, worms, beetles, and moth larvae. Doing this also helps me survive. They loosen the ground underneath me, allowing air and water to come through so I can drink. There is also another animal that hangs around below, digging and nibbling on my roots. Can you guess what it is? It is the wombat. I'm a great food source for the wombats. They like to dig around and nibble my roots. They do eat leaves and grasses as well, but they do not like gum leaves. The wombat will not eat the leaves that have fallen from my tree to the ground, but that is okay. My leaves fall to the ground and break down, creating plant food for the earth. It forms an insulation blanket from the heat for the soil in the warmer months and keeps the moisture in the ground so it does not dry out. My leaves are eaten by one important animal. Do you know what that is? It is the koala! But they do not eat all gum leaves. They only eat selected leaves from a range of trees. They are very picky when it comes to their food. Koalas have big, sharp claws and will climb up the side of my tree, sometimes leaving scratches on the bark. The koala lives in my treetops and feeds and sleeps there. Did you know the koalas sleep for 18 to 22 hours a day, as they get very little energy from my leaves? Next time you see some scratches on the side of the eucalyptus tree, look up. You may see a koala in my treetop. My leaves are also used in many other ways. When processed correctly, they can be used for or made into herbal teas to treat colds and flu, or processed into an oil for herbal use. My bark has many functions. My bark has many functions. It helps protect the tree during bushfires. Some eucalyptus trees can shed their bark, allowing new growth below. It creates habitat for many critters on and off the tree. Differences in my bark type is also a useful tool that can help to identify different species of gum trees. Gum nuts and flowers are important parts of my tree. Some species of trees blossom over the warmer months, but other trees blossom over the cooler months. This assists in providing food all year round for the birds and bees. Not many other flowers bloom over winter, and this would leave the birds and bees without food to survive. Even with the wombat eating my roots, the koala eating my leaves, and the white ants eating up the dead wood, I am still able to survive and produce growth. There are many benefits to becoming hollow. It creates a safe space and homes for wildlife. I now have some hollow branches that birds can nest in, called hollow nesting. These hollow nests protect the young from prey like eagles and goannas. Possums will live in my trunk. They will sleep all day and are active at night. There is another very small little creature, only weighing 150 grams, that nests in my hollow logs or small crevices in my bark. Can you guess what it is? It is the microbat. These little creatures love to sleep all day and feed on insects all night. Even though they are so small, they can consume 40% of their body weight in insects in a single night. That can be 700 insects per hour. With my tree full of white ants and the nest on the side of my tree, they do not need to go far for a feast. There is another little important insect that will create a wild nest out of wax and resin in my tree. Have you heard of a sugar bag bee? They are a very small stingless bee measuring 3 to 5 millimeters and are dark in color. Each hive produces only small amounts of honey, less than 1 kilogram per year. These bees are not like honeybees. They store the honey and pollen to provide food over the cooler months to rear the larvae. Having all these animals and insects living inside my branches and trunk helps me survive. All their waste, droppings, and seeds drop to the bottom of my trunk to feed my roots. My roots grow in search of nutrients to help me survive. Even though the width of my root zone grows at least twice the height of my trunk, and with a whole ecosystem happening inside me, this can also cause my roots to turn and grow back into the center of my tree to feed on all these nutrients. Ecology is the study of the home. I have shared my life as just one tree on the land, and how important we are. I have shared how all things are related and work together to support life with the ecosystem, forests, plants and animals, and other organisms in the soil. This can help educate tomorrow's decision makers, to help our planet to support life, and to teach you to leave a bit for the bush. The end. If you like this informative book, please subscribe to my mum's channel and click the notification bell because she will release a new book every week. See you soon. Bye.